Back in 2006, Maxime Bernier was a rising star in the Conservative Party. He was a lawyer, a business executive, a French-speaking Quebecer. His philosophy fit perfectly with the newly branded Conservatives, a believer in small government, focused on individual rights, champion of small business, all that stuff. And when he ran in the federal election, he actually won 67% of the vote in his riding, more than any other Conservative MP east of Manitoba. He calls himself an Albertan from Quebec, and his first job was heading up Industry Canada, and then one of the most high-profile gigs in the government, Minister of Foreign Affairs. But then he ran himself into a bit of a trouble. Public comments he made about the governor of Kandahar landed him in diplomatic hot water.
Is it the right person at the right place at the right time? And President Karzai will have to answer that question.
And then he famously left classified documents for 4 weeks at the home of a girlfriend who had ties to the Hells Angels.
I was only made aware of rumors regarding her past last April.
A scandal that earned him the nickname Mad Max, and it cost him his job in cabinet.
This is a serious error. The minister has accepted his responsibilities in offering to resign.
So how did he weather that political storm? What did he learn from it? And how will he apply those lessons to his latest job? Because you see, Harper trusts him again. He's back in the cabinet as a junior minister responsible for tourism and small business.
He is extremely valued by myself and all of his colleagues in Ottawa, so it's great to have him on the team.
With the world economy still staggering and consumers in debt, all feeling tapped out, Maxime's facing new challenges on all fronts. Please welcome the Honourable Maxime Bernier.
Thanks, John.
How are you? Fine. Welcome. Go to your website. It's right on the website. You have this mission statement. It says, if we want conservative principles to win the battle, we have to defend them openly with passion.
With passion.
And with?
And with vision.
That's right. Yeah. And conviction.
Conviction and vision.
What's the battle?
It's a battle of ideas. You know, I'm in politics for what I believe in. And it's a position, it's a privilege for a person to be a member of parliament. And I have that privilege, and I think that I must use that for what I believe, and I believe in individual liberty and personal responsibility, more freedom, less government, and I try to push that in different files in government and inside my caucus.
Who's the battle with?
It's a battle with the public opinion, with the opposition. It's a battle of ideas. You know, that's ideas who change the world. And if you want to achieve something, you must speak to people about what you believe. And sometimes the ideas are not so popular in a time. But I think in the long run, like in Quebec right now, we didn't have a lot of MPs, but I'm still believing the same things. And it's our challenge to speak to people, to speak to Quebecers about freedom, about liberty, about less government.
Do you feel, it's interesting that, because you're almost in parts a libertarian, it feels in some parts. Do you feel like you're out of step with what the rest of the province is? Because Quebec, there are only a handful of Tory MPs, and not since the Brian Mulroney era has there been a real Conservative presence in the province of Quebec. There are very few who win with your point of view.
You're right. We're only 5 MPs from Quebec, and at the last election, and Jack Layton was very popular, and people voted for Jack. But you know, Canadians and Quebecers, when they vote, they're doing the right thing. That's democracy. And now we have to explain the difference between the NDP and the Liberal and us. And they believe in more government. They believe that the government has the solution to each problems in the society. And we believe in less government and more freedom. And we think that people are responsible and they don't need a government to take care of them in each steps in their lives.
But we clearly need the government to play a major role.
For sure.
And it's a centralized government to play a role, right?
Yeah. But we have to play a role in our jurisdiction. And you know, we decided that healthcare, it's a provincial jurisdiction, but the federal government is playing a role to give money to the provinces to do that. But we won't impose any condition of them because they know best. They're the one who run the healthcare services in each provinces.
Yeah, but we're not set up the way the United States are. States don't have as much, or they have way more power than individual provinces do. Are you saying that we need to go closer to that model?
I need that the federal government must be strong, but be strong in its jurisdiction, and that's important. So, and doing that, we don't need to spend a lot of money. our job right now is to be sure that we're having the right conditions in Canada to create wealth and jobs. And the way to do that, it is not by taxing people and taking that money and giving that to other people. Mm-hmm. We have a huge deficit that we created. Yes, we as Conservatives, we created that deficit. We are responsible for that. But we did that because at that time we need some stimulus. And we did it. We were able to do it because our finance was very well managed at that time. We had a surplus and everything. And so we did a deficit. And now it's time to pay the bill.
One of the reasons
but
why
the opposition are asking for more money again. We cannot create wealth and prosperity in this country, maxim out the credit card of Canadians. We need right now to tackle our deficit at the federal level, and we'll do it. We'll do that without increasing taxes to businesses and families, without cutting transfer to provinces like in healthcare, and to individuals. We have to look in our own court.
When you had to resign your position, did you think you were going to get another shot?
When I resigned, frankly, I thought my career was finished. It was an hard time, very hard one, very difficult. And I was not the only one who thought that, all the journalists and everything. But, you know, I decided to take some time to have a reflection about what I want to do in life. And I decided that I'm in politics to defend freedom and liberty, and I must go on. And if the people in my own riding in Beauce, they want me, I'll go on and I'll continue. I was very happy to be re-elected after that.
When the whole scandal hit, a lot of the conversation, you even addressed it, was about judgment, right? Yeah. And a mistake in judgment. What do you do to ensure that kind of stuff doesn't happen? How do you make sure that you have better judgment in those tough situations?
Yeah. First of all, like every individual, every Canadian, you learn from your mistake. And definitely, my choice of girlfriend wasn't a good one.
Listen, I'm not talking about her. It wasn't your girlfriend that was the issue. It was leaving the documents that was the issue.
Yeah, the documents was an issue, for sure. And I accept the full responsibility of that. So what I can do to be sure that it won't happen, I can tell you that I don't have any secret document with me. It's in my office. It's going to stay in my office. And if I have to read something very late at night, I stay late in the office. But that was. But I had to resign at that time,
sure.
And I assumed that. But
were you forced to resign? Did someone say to you, "You got to go"? Like in your party?
You know, I had a discussion with the Prime Minister that day. In the morning, I said, I want to speak to you. It was before question period, around 1 o'clock. And I said to him about these documents. And I said, I will offer you my resignation right now. And he said, I must think about that. And at the end of the day, he said, okay, write your letter. I'll accept it. And I did it. But answering your question, I'm intelligent. I know that I have to resign. I didn't wait him to ask me to resign. I knew that. So yeah. I knew that because it was a big mistake at that time. And the only thing I had to do is to resign. So I didn't wait him to ask me to resign. I was up front.
But as a guy who's, your father was in politics, and politics is obviously very important to you. What's it like just on a human level when you know that, let's say the PMO, the Prime Minister says, okay, write your letter. What was your human reaction in that moment?
I did not succeed. I did not achieve what I want to achieve being in politics. Everything under me was falling, and I was hurting my family. It was tough for my family. It was tough for my daughters, and so you feel like you did a very huge mistake, and that's hurting you, but that's hurting also people around you.
When your constituents give you another shot, you're back. Yeah. So when you get into this junior
But they told me, don't do that again, Maxime.
Did they? Did they really?
Oh yeah. During the campaign, they said, Maxime, I was very stressed during that campaign. And he said, no, it's all right, Maxime, but don't do that again. And so I learned.
It's good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
The Honourable Maxime Bernier.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.